Hi there. In this video, we're going to use technology to do our descriptive statistics. So we're going to first do graph, but we'll see how it calculates the statistics for us as well. And then we'll go through and explain what all those mean. Okay, so I've got a technology page to summarize this technology we're going to use. And we're going to use a set of applets called Stapplet. Very clever, huh? And they're free online. So I've got an instruction page here, and then I'm going to go through and do it with our test score data set. So once you feel comfortable with the calculations and the graphing, when it starts to feel tedious, then switch over to technology. It's not cheating, okay? You are required to use technology in the class. So in fact, we're going to focus on technology so that it can do the calculations and the graphs, and then we can focus on the interpretations, okay? So we do have a big focus on using technology, and then we will do the interpretations. Okay, so just going to run through the instructions real quick, and you have this page in your notes, stapplet.com. I'll show you where to go from there. And then every link that you need is before the video. And then there's also a resource page that has all of the links that we're using throughout the class. Okay, under data analysis, we'll select one quantitative variable single group, input the variable name with units, and this will be your title. Copy and paste your data into the data box. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is a little screenshot here. And here's where we're going to type our variable name. We're going to leave this raw data. We're going to copy paste our data here, and then just hit begin analysis. Okay, so we've got some instructions here. Click on begin analysis. Usually we'll select histogram and then box plot as well. And you can also type in an interval or bin width if you want a different one. The summary statistics will come up automatically. And then let's say you're doing an assignment and you need to put your graphs in an assignment. You can use take a screenshot or use a snipping tool to add graphs to your labs or assignments. Okay, so let's actually do this. So first I'm going to go to Stapplet, stapplet.com. Now this is what the specific app looks like. So let me back out and show you. In case you're just at stapplet.com, it's the fourth one down, one quantitative variable single group. And we're going to be using several of these throughout the term. Now I'm going to type in, this is where we put in our context and our variable name and our units. Okay, so I'm going to put, just like we were labeling, we're going to use the test score data. So just like we were labeling on our last video, stat 243 test scores in points. Okay, the raw data. Okay, so now let's say, well, how do I get my data in here? I'm actually going to go to the Word doc because you have the Word docs available to you in the course. I'm going to copy, Control-C, these. Now let's say you're doing a MyOpenMath homework question. You can copy it right out of MyOpenMath. There's no need to type it in, and that just can leave us open to errors, right? Data typos. So we want to try to avoid that. Usually in real life, you have really, really big data sets, and so we would not want to, copy something by hand. So this works pretty well, even if you have a column in MyOpenMath. If it's in a table, it will it reads it really well. I've tried a lot of different formats with this. Okay, and then we're going to click Begin Analysis. And let's look at the different graphs here. So the default is a dot plot. So if you look back at your notes, this looks very similar to our dot plot, right? Now we can also select a stem plot. Okay, so this also looks very similar to our stem and leaf plot. You can see they have the key 10 bar 0 is 100. You can do some different things, do some fancier things with stem and leaf plots. We're not going to go very into depth into that. So just the basic one is fine. If you do see a split stem, that's where you split it into the 1 through or 0 through 4 in one, and then 5 through 9 in the rest. So you can see there's 2 8s. So that just gives you twice as many bars as you had before. So I'm going to say no, or you can do five groups. Okay, so that's the stem plot. Then third we did the histogram, and you can see the bars. And this one looks very similar to ours. Oh, it looks like, okay, so notice how this bar has a frequency of 1, but it's going from 20 to 40. So that tells me it's bin width, and if I hover over it, it says between 20 to 40. So this actually has a bin width of 20. So it's going in 20s. And you can tell that also because it goes up to 120. So I don't want that. I want to match ours. So I'm going to put in interval width of 10. So that's another name. Interval, bin, class, all mean the same thing. So now it looks just like ours, where we have a frequency of 1 from 30 to 40, a frequency of 2, then 6, then 3, and then 1. Okay, so this is interesting. Stapplet does go ahead and put the maximum value to the right. I think it's GeoGebra that does it the other way. So just be aware, if you use different technologies in the future, they might do it differently. It's not wrong, it's just a different way of doing it. Okay, so I'm going to keep this right here. Now let's say we were going to we needed to get this into our lab or assignment. I would want to take a screenshot or a little snip of this. So if you have on your machine like a little snipping tool, I'm going to go into Windows and type snip. I'll put it in the frame here in a second. I'm not sure what it's showing right now, but I have the snipping tool, and then what I can do is select with my crosshairs. I can select this graph, and then it puts it in an image. And so here's what my image looks like, and then you can paste that into a document or Desmos or wherever it needs to go. Okay, so let me get rid of that for right now. Okay, now we haven't done box plots yet, but I still want to show you this because you'll be using this a lot. There's a checkbox here that says show box plot. And what it does is it brings up the box plot right above the histogram. And this is great because these really go together and they give us a good picture of a data set, these two graphs together. So even though we haven't talked about it yet, we'll often want these two graphs together. And then while we're here, I'm going to scroll down also to show you the summary statistics. So we have our N is how many data points we had, so that we need to make sure that matches. We had 15 test scores, so that's good. And it calculates the mean, standard deviation, minimum, Q1, median, Q3, and maximum. So those are the descriptive statistics or summary statistics we'll be calculating, and you'll be using this for your homework, okay? Great, so I'm gonna end, let's see, I'm going to close this for a second and go back to my document camera here. So that's one notes page, and then in the next notes page I have some screenshots of this, so you can see here's the dot plot, here's the stem and leaf plot, and then the next page has, let me move this back down. The next page has the, and I put in all the settings that I put here. So it has the box plot, histogram, and summary statistics on there for you. Okay, great. So you'll be practicing that using this technology as just one of the applets we'll be using this term. Okay, great. I'll see you in the next video.